Welcome back to a brand new video, special one today. I've came to Paul Foot Racing, the home, anything to do with RS500. Paul is the man, well renowned for anything to do with 500s, mate. And this here was your first ever Sierra RS500, the one that started it off for you.
It was, yeah, the one that kicked it all off, I suppose. What will it be, 14, 15 years ago now, probably a bit more. And it's up there, look, on the poster.
There's a picture on the wall.
That's the car. When I first finished building it, similar spec to what it is now, yeah.
This isn't your car now, is it? It's been, obviously you've since sold it. When did you sell it?
Well, look at tax disc there, it'll tell you.
2011?
2011, I sold it. I sold it to a lad from Ireland. He came over. He'd seen the car on the internet and one thing and another. Me going sideways at crofting it. And anyway, wanted to buy it, came over, bought the car. Drove it to docks, got to the other side at docks, put some fresh fuel in it and put the wrong fuel in it. So it melted a piston. Bearing in mind, I'd used this car for numerous track days, used it all the time on the road, kicking its head in, never a minute's bother, but obviously put the wrong fuel in it, so it melted a piston. He brought it back to the UK, took it to a well-known tuner in England to have the engine rebuilt, and 13 years later, it's still on his ramp. Never finished it.
Really?
So I got a call. I'd heard the car was there, and then a couple of pictures popped up of his workshop, and you could see it on a ramp in background with number plate on. Anyway, I contacted Mark once and said, do you want to sell it? You know, if it's been sat there, I'd buy it back anyway. He didn't want to sell it. And anyway, eventually he rang me and said, look, I'm sick of waiting. If I bring the car to you, will you finish it? So there we are. He brought it to us. And unfortunately, I said to him, look, it's going to have to go on a modern management now. That's the safest thing for it. Then if it ever happens again, knock sensor will pick it up and it'll shut the engine down, so you'll never blow the engine up again. So I said, look, let's get the engine taken back out, because it was in. They'd put some modern shit turbo on it, some modern inlet manifold, all that shit that people put on. And I said, I'll only do it if we put it back to how a 500 should be. T4 turbo, 8 greens on a proper 500 inlet manifold. And he said, yeah, do whatever you want, basically. I said, we can make it a lot better now with roller bearing turbos and that. They were a lot more advanced than they were in
technology's moved on.
Yeah, a lot better. So anyway, he agreed. So we took engine out, took it to Harvey Gibbs. They put it on engine dyno to map it for us on this new management, and it was smoking like.
Really?
Anyway, long story short, they took the engine to bits, found a few problems with it, fixed that, put it back together, and something still wasn't quite right with it. So they took it to bits again, and this engine's been stroked to make it a 2.4.
So it's not the 2 litre it was originally?
2.4 now. And anyway, they hadn't cut. When you stroke them, the conrods and pistons move further, obviously.
So it's got a different crankshaft in.
The conrods were hitting the bottom of the block. They hadn't taken the bottom of the block off like you're supposed to, so the conrods were just touching. So it came to bits again. Harvey rebuilt the engine, did it all properly, dynoed it, put it back in, and then gave it to us to put back in the car. We put it back in the car, got it all running. Went up and down village, a couple of miles just to make sure everything was all right. Then we took it back to Harvey, and Jim Gibbs mapped it for us, and now it's back and done.
Back here. So you also used to run North Yorkshire RS spares, didn't you? You used to break Cosworths.
I did, and it's still got my old stickers in window.
Still got your sticker on the window.
It turned into another job as well, did this, because while it was here, Mark, who owned the car, had seen us doing an underside restoration on the Barnfine car. Oh, will you do mine while it's there? So we ended up stripping everything out underneath.
On this? You've done the underside of this?
All the floor pans taken back to bare metal. We wrapped the floor, powder coated all the suspension parts. And so it's had all the underside done as well. It's mucky now because we've been driving it. But he wants to drive it. It's not for sure. He just wanted it to keep it mint. You know, to
preserve it.
Yeah. Like we call them, don't we? We always say our jobs are preservations, not restorations. So every nut and bolt was re-zinced and everything powder coated, new bushes and everything and that. So, and you can tell because it drives mint now.
Drives mint.
With all new bushes and that in it.
Yeah, you see we've just been out in it, so it is a bit dirty. But if we have a look on the underside there, nice mate.
All new fuel tank, fuel pumps, filters. Like I say, every bush replaced, all brakes, you know, cleaned and rebuilt. But she's mint. Do you know what I love about it? It's not perfect.
It's a usable car.
Yeah. You know, you can see there, look, where paint's been rubbed through, where they polished it and rubbed through. There's some on the roof there. Look on the roof cutter there, so it's original paint because they've rubbed through it, polishing it.
So it's still all original paint?
No, it's had a few bits of paint,
Little
but
bits of
a lot
touch-up.
of it's original.
I love the wheels as well. These are comp-motive split rims.
CXNs. This was the
CXNs.
very first car ever to have these wheels on it in this configuration with the wider rear and the narrower front. And if you look, they're mucky now, they want polishing, but these are polished. This is the only set they made polished. All the others were anodised silver.
Oh, right.
They wouldn't do them polished. And I said, well, I want them polished. And they said, we won't do them because they'll corrupt. And people will complain and moan. And I said, well, I want them polished. So they did them.
Did you want them polished because it was like the touring cars?
No, it's just because when they're polished, cars polished,
The pop.
they look absolutely amazing.
So when did you buy the wheels? These must be 15, 16, 17 years old.
15, 16 years old.
They still look mint-minded. These
And
wheels,
arches haven't been cut.
still original arches.
Yeah. But they fill arches nicely, don't they?
Mate, it sits beautiful. It sits absolutely
Took
beautiful.
us ages working with Compomotive to get the offset absolutely perfect so that we could run 205s on front, 215s on the rear. So they're quite blown out of the tyres, but it means you don't have to trim your arches.
Because, I mean, the price of the kits now is a fortune, so you wouldn't want to trim the arches, would you? In case you ever wanted to go about a standard. But so inside as well, quite a rare thing, an uncracked dashboard.
It's
Nice
filthy,
dashboard.
so you'll have to excuse that. It's been sat on a ramp in their garage for 13 years. It's been here for 2 years. But yeah,
It is dual
uncracked
valet,
dash,
isn't
the
it?
seats are mint, the door panels are mint, original steering wheel that's mint. Look at gear knob. Usually knackered, aren't they?
It's quite low mileage as well, isn't it? 62,800
62.
it's showing there.
Yeah, it's original mileage, like. But one of the dilemmas when we put it back together was obviously when I built this car 15 years ago, alley tanks, like on that picture, alley tanks was all the rage, wasn't it? Polished
Under the
out.
bonnet tanks, like the header tanks
Yeah.
and breather tanks.
Now nobody wants it, but we agreed with Mark. This is how this car was originally built, and he wanted it to stay like that. So they need a polish, like we're going to clean them. But
Are you doing it yourself, the clean? Are you getting some like company in?
no, we'll polish them up. Just do them with autosol and that. Oh, look at that plug leads won't push him back down.
Aye.
So yeah, we'll give them a clean.
Like you see, it's running 8 grain injectors.
Yep. It's on a life management now, so Jim and Harvey put it on life management for us, which is obviously got all the safety features on them. If the oil pressure drops or the fuel pressure drops too much, then it shuts the ECU down and saves you damaging the engine.
Mate, it's such a benefit now, this modern.
It's
Save a fortune and save your engine rebuild. Literally, save
you know,
your money.
people spend 20 grand on an engine rebuild and run an old ECU. With a lumen ECU, and that is probably 4.5 grand, 4.5, 5 grand, best 5 grand you'll ever spend.
Could
You'll
literally save
never
you
blow this
thousands.
engine up.
Aye.
As soon as it registers something it doesn't like, it just either goes into limp mode, so you can't over rev it or whatever, or it'll just shut the engine down if oil pressure drops to a certain amount. Obviously, there's a fault with the engine why it's made it do that, but it saves you destroying the engine. That's the key thing. But I'm over the moon with it, mate. Harvey and Jim have done a lovely job. It's fast.
And that's who does all your engines, isn't it?
Yeah,
Harvey
they do.
Gibbs. SES.
For high horsepower engines, then SCS do them for us. If it's road cars, there's a local lad who builds race engines, but he does standard rebuilds for us because it's just down road.
Sometimes you do it yourself as well, don't you?
We can do them, but to be fair, I'm a big believer in leave a job to people who know what they're doing, if you know what I mean. Engine rebuilds, we can do them, but they're not what we specialise in. So,
Mate,
but yeah, I
beautiful
love
car.
it. I love this. I love it how it is. I love the wheels. I love the carbon splitter. I love the dark indicators. Nobody likes them. I do. It had black number plates on when I had it, which are in the back of the car there. And to be honest, I'd put them back on.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't care less. I think they're still in here. I used to get pulled up all the time for them, but I don't care. Yeah, they're there. Look. That's what I had on it when I had it. It looked mint with them on.
Aye, nice.
So yeah, a valet now, clean it up, give it a polish,
Ready to go?
and give it back to Mark and let him scare himself to death in it.
Amazing, mate. Amazing. Glad to see you back.
I am. I don't want to see it go though. Really, to be fair. Even look at parcel shelf in it.
Mint. They still got the little first aid kit in the back, have you not looked?
I don't know. I've never looked.
Ah, cool, mate. Nice exhaust on there as well, nice.
Sound. This car has a really unique sound. It always has.
Right.
Don't know why. It's a Scorpion exhaust.
Just
which
an
has been
off-the-shelf
slightly-
exhaust.
Yeah, with centre box taken out. But but it's always sounded like an aircraft taking off. You'll hear it on video, won't you? It sounds mega. I'm hoping, Mark always said if he does sell it, he'll always give me first chance to buy it back, and I would buy it back.
I was going to say you'd have to buy it back, wouldn't you?
Well, for two reasons. Obviously, it was my first ever 500, and Joanne, who passed away, as most people will know, she loved the car. She thought it was the bee's knees, and you know, I'd like to buy it back for that reason as well, really.
Do you know what as well, mate? You've got a nice big kitchen with some nice bifold doors. You could pull it in the house and just sit.
I'd get rid of settee and kitchen table, and just put that in.
Sit and watch telly in your car, put the window down.
Yeah. It meant, wasn't it?
Meant. I'll put some footage in, fellas, of us going out in the car. You can see exactly what it's like to drive, and amazing.
Or what it's like not to drive.
Right, so mate, first drive in your old car since it's been mapped.
Man, innit?
Jesus Christ. So like we see, it was mapped at about, where Harvey reckons about 550,
560, something like that, but because it's a 2.4, I believe, because it was a stroker engine, and it's got some quite wild cams in it, so it revs. It picks up a lot quicker than most normal Cosy engines. It revs like a motorbike. It just...
Is the rev limiter still set to the original position?
Yeah.
What's it like driving it again? Does it feel special or
You know what? It feels like it was like yesterday I last drove it. Yeah, it does, honest.
Feels like being back at home?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Like being on my old girlfriend. No, it's... yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's nice inside as well. Like my car's quite rattly. This is...
It always was. I'm in fourth gear, this.
The roads are quite greasy as well at the minute, but Jesus Christ, mate.
It always did drive really well, this, because it's quite, that's original mileage, it's 62,000. I mean, it always did drive well. It's on coilovers, but it's not too bumpy, is it? Because I got it fairly soft. But there's no rattles, no clunks. Be a bit shaky wheels on balancing, don't they? We'll just work that out.
Will you get that done before you send it back when you get the wheels balanced?
I will, yeah. Well, like 70 mile an hour, he just sits. Fifth gear.
There's a turbo.
It's quick though, isn't it?
Aye. It's got AP brakes as well, hasn't it, on the front?
Yeah, it's got APs on front and then a big disc conversion on the back.
Right.
It's got big tooth gearbox in it, wave diff in it.
Is it the 4x4 rear calipers on the back so you can get the vented discs?
That's right, yeah.
Mate, it just spins mine, doesn't it?
That's all it does, isn't it? I remember when I owned it all them years ago, it was on this road on A64, we were coming the other way, and I passed an Arctic wagon. I had my mate inside, and we were in fifth. I dropped it to fourth, got halfway past the wagon, it came on boost and just went completely sideways.
Past the wagon?
This wagon in fourth gear. My mate was absolutely brilliant.
So what's the plans for the car now? It's going to clean it, get the wheels balanced and send it back to the lad?
That's it, it's done.
Get picked up?
I'll polish outside, give it a clean under bonnet, polish all alley bits back up. Obviously I didn't want to do anything until we road tested it and make sure everything was alright. Then it's going back to Ireland where Mark will, I don't know, I think he'll be shocked. I genuinely do think he'll be shocked how fast he is and how sort of lethal he is. There's no other way to put it really, is there? You know, the thing just spins the wheels and goes sideways.
Especially in this weather, like in the cold roads.
But I remember when I had it before, even in dry, as soon as it came on boost, it was
sideways.
He loved it. Because at Croft, I used to take it to do a lot of track days at Croft. And I used to do the Irish Owners Club track day. And at the hairpin at Croft, it's only a real short road up to hairpin. And everybody used to say, you'll never get an RS 500 sideways around the hairpin because you didn't have enough run up to it. There's a challenge. I used to come around the hairpin sideways all the way around with smoke bellowing off back tyres.
Like so you have Tokyo Drift?
I used to go up to hairpin because there was a right-hander then from sort of here to that side and then there was hairpin. So I used to nail it in third, then lift off throttle into second and dump clutch so it locked the back wheels up, threw it sideways and then back on throttle and just drift it all the way around.
So like it's 560 brake horsepower now, what was it when you had it?
550.
550.
But it didn't pick up like this.
Did it not?
It was real lethargic. Then came on boost and all hell broke loose. This, like now, you put your foot down and it pulls.
Is it on a standard T4 turbo or is it like a...
No, it's on a roller bearing now, which make them pick up quicker. Obviously, back in the day, they weren't really a thing. Not common. So it was a standard T4 when I had it. This is on a life management system. So completely advanced compared to the old Pectel that it was on when I had it. So this is a far superior car now. A lot better car than it was when I had it.
So, and when you ran it, did it run, the RS500s ran 8 injectors to get them out, didn't it? Did it run 8 injectors when you had it?
Yeah.
Is it running 8 now or is it running 4?
No, it's running 8 greens like it did when I had it. It was on 8 greens then. They're a lot more tunable now, you know, a lot more refined. This will cruise a lot better. It'll be probably better on fuel as well when you're cruising, because I don't think it'll be that good when you're booting it like. Yeah, I've missed the old girl, I'll be honest. Well, I wanted to buy it back, didn't I?
Remember you said you wanted to buy it back.
I wanted it, but he doesn't want to sell it. And I get that, because obviously he bought it, 12 years ago.
Oh, so he's had it a while then. So
but he's never driven it, has he? Because it blew up on way home.
So how many miles has he done it, do you know?
Well, he drove from my house to docks at Liverpool, but he only went steady because he was getting used to the car. And then, well, I think whatever, a few miles to the other side, put wrong fuel in it.
Blew it up.
Just can't touch the throttle, can it?
Mate, it is lethal. I could not own this car. This would just end up in a ditch for me.
You to death, it's been. The old pheasants, you don't want to be in them.
Such a cool thing, mate. Such a cool thing.
It's cool. I'm obviously compared to a modern car. Modern cars don't go sideways. They've got all electronic gadgets and that, so they're easy to drive, aren't they? Things like this are just, they just frighten you to death, to be fair, don't
It takes you need to be a driver to drive something like this fast, don't you? It's not like something where, like Golf 4, if you jumped in with this kind of power.
You couldn't just give this to a bloke on the street who's got well, like we said about my Range Rover SVR, that's 540 odd horsepower, loads of torque. But if that's the only sort of car you've driven with that kind of power, you'd get in this and think, oh, I'm used to it. You'd touch the throttle, end up backwards in trees, wouldn't you?
Straight away. Mate.
Unreal,
Was that fourth?
Fourth gear, that. Spinning there again.
Mate, you know how to drive these cars, man. You definitely do.
A lot of
definitely
practice,
do.
You could see, can't you, how easy it would be to stuff it into an edge
I'd have been in that field by now.
I used to do a lot of passenger rides in this, you know, for charity when we went to go to Croft a lot. People would just be like, they'd be really quiet and you'd pull back into pits and they'd be like, oh, when they took helmet off.
I'd love a passenger ride, mind, in this on track. Were you driving like someone who knows how to drive it?
Just proper love going sideways. I remember there was a guy in an RS200 and it was a genuine one and it was quick, because they are quick, aren't they? Group B rally car. And I was sat behind him going up track, did about 2 laps behind him and then went past him sideways, and he tried keeping up when he couldn't, and when we got back in pits he just came up to him and he just went, what the fucking hell's in that? He says, you passed me like I was stood still. He was laughing his head off. Then he says, I was watching you sideways on all corners, giggling my head off.
I think I remember that RS200 going to the track. It had a livery on, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Did you ever fancy getting something like this yourself, like a road car with like 550 braking? Something to pop about in and scare people, scare you with us.
To be honest, I was not really that bothered about it till I drove it again now. And it is cool. if it was perfectly bone dry now, when you get people in like modern BMW M5s and things like that, and they think they've got a fast car, and they see an old Sierra Cosworth and think, and then you just gone, leave it for dead.
These must have been, like, I know they were, but just considering like an XR2 or an XR3 was classed as like a quickish car, then these things came out just people tuning them to like 330 brake easy.
Well, that was the thing with these, wasn't it? You know, you could get an RS 500 to 500 odd horsepower in 1987, 88. Them kind of figures were unheard of. Now, a lot of production cars have that kind of power. Just loves going sideways, doesn't it?
So you see it's on a big tooth gearbox as well?
Yeah, I put that in a CTS big tooth gearbox, Quaife gripper diff.
Oh, it's got a diff as well in the back, has it?
Yeah, gripper, yeah. To be fair, I ran it for 3 years with a standard gearbox and standard diff in it.
I was going to say the standard stuff would probably take it anyway, wouldn't it?
The thing with it is I used to set off in first gear, into second, and then nail it, and it would take it. If you like, you know, just dump clutch and set off in first, it wouldn't take it. But I was sort of respectful with it in that sense. Get it rolling and then nail it. Do you know what I mean?
Feel that spinning forth.
You just can't get it down, can you?
What tyres is it on? Toyos or something, I say.
Yeah, they're good tyres, them, mate, to be fair.
Jesus Christ, mate.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Mate. Tell you what, anyone else, I'll be nervous, but I feel like you've fully got this under control.
Don't say that too soon.
Thanks for watching, and as always, a huge thanks to Paul for letting us come down and video the car and taking us for a ride, scaring the shit out of us. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely, I love it. I love coming down here. But yet again, mate, thanks again.
No, you're welcome. I'm pleased you've come back, you know, and sort of finished the story of this car, really. So it's nice to see it finally done, finished. I think Mark will be, after, 13, 14 years of owning it and never driving it, I think he'll be pleased to get it back.
Aye, I bet he will be. Paul's got a YouTube channel. I'm guessing there's some footage of the car on your YouTube channel, mate, if people want to have a look.
There is, yeah. I think there maybe is, yeah.
I'll leave a link to Paul's social media and his YouTube. But yet again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, a massive thanks to Paul. But thanks for watching, fellas, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.